Hello, welcome back. In this video today, we're going to go through the Yunus Primary School Primary 4 End of Year Exam Mathematics Practice Set 1 from question 31 to question 45. Now, if you are watching this for the first time and you want to try the questions, I'll suggest you watch the previous two videos which I have gone through all these same questions but without providing the solution or the answers. Instead, if you watch those two videos, you will get the idea of the question to help you to understand it. If you're watching this because you're my student now and you're doing your corrections, get ready with your green pen and we'll get started right now. Rashid and John had $720. After Rashid spent $60, he had twice as much money as John. How much money did John have? So if you look at this, right? After Rashid spent $60, he had twice as much money as John. That refers to the model on top here. You see that Rashid has twice, one time, two times compared to John's. There's a twice as much. Where's the 60? That 60 is the part that has disappeared, which is actually here. This is the $60 that was spent by Rashid. So after spending it, see I cover it. After spending it, then you have the after model. This is the before model. Before spending, it looks like this. And before spending, both of them had $720. So this is your $720 before spending. So after spending, you will have $60 less. So that will be $720 minus 60, you will have $660. This is your first step. Now, you're supposed to find out how much money does John have. You can see that here, 1, 2, 3. These 3 units here is equivalent to $660. So what is one of the units that equivalent to? That will be 660 divided by 3 and you have $220. So the answer here is 220. Now, Mrs. Lim used 1/9 kg of flour to make cookies and 2/3 kg of flour to make brownies. After that, she had 1/9 kg of flour left. How many kilograms of flour did she have at first? So you see this part? She used 1/9 kg of flour to make cookies. She used 2/9 kg of flour to make brownies. And she had 1/9 kg of flour left. So when you ask to find out how much she had at first, that means you're supposed to find out how much she had in the beginning. So simply just add up all together. So before she used the one on brownies, before she used those on cookies, right, just before all of that, you just add them all together. So simply 1/9 plus 2/3 plus 1/9. Now these two fractions have the same denominator, but not this. Let's say you change this to the same denominator, right? And you will have 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 3 is 6. These two they can just remain as they are because their denominator is already the same. So to add fractions, you must first make all the denominators the same. Now they are the same, you can add them. 1 plus 6 plus 1, you have 8. Denominator remains the same. So the answer is 8/9 kilograms. Okay, kilograms given here. Next one. A box with 5 identical balls in it has a mass of 4.5 kilograms. The mass of the box is 1.5 kilograms when empty. So you see this is a box with 5 identical balls, and when I put on a weighing scale, their mass is 4.5 kilograms. And when you remove the balls, you see it becomes empty. The mass of the box, just the empty box, is 1.5 kilograms. So what's the mass of each ball? So how can we understand this in mathematically? I can write it out this way. Okay, so here is one box plus 5 balls is equivalent to 4.5 kilograms. Here, still one box, but no balls, right? 0 balls is 1.5 kilograms. So when I subtract these two, I will have no more boxes. So here is nothing. 5 minus 0 is 5 balls. and 3 kilograms. The purpose of doing this subtraction is to find out what is the mass of the balls. So we're supposed to find out the mass of each ball, just one ball. If 5 balls weighs this much, so one ball, I just divide 3 by 5, and that's the answer, 3/5 kilograms. You can write in decimal if you like, which is 0.6, but there's no need to write in decimals. Okay. Next one, look at the square grid. Use it to answer question 34. Let's look for C. C is here. They ask what's southwest of C. Well, this is north, this is south, this is west, so this is your southwest. Okay, so it's B. Next one, in which direction is F from A? With from A, we start looking at A, and from A, where is F? From A, F is in the north direction. Alright, please spell it out. If you write N, please write it as N-O-R-T-H, north. In the figure below, PQRS is a square. Find angle X. Now, when they tell you something is a square, they're telling you two things. Firstly, all the angles in the shape are right angles. Secondly, all the sides here are equal in length. So this is a right angle, so you know that therefore this angle here is 90 degrees. Now they cut this 90 degrees into 3 angles. One is 31, the other one is 15. So what is X? Very simply, so you know that X plus 31 plus 15 is 90, right? All these 3 added together give you 90 degrees. The units here is degrees. So what is angle X? That will be equal to 90. Take away 31, take away 15. Alright, so here is actually 46, so you have 44 degrees. Let's go to the next question now. Always remember to write the answer down. Just a quick reminder, if you have not watched the previous 2 videos, the teaching videos on how to understand this question, so you can get to try it first without listening to the explanation and the answer, please do so. I think it's more beneficial if you watch those 2 videos before watching this. The diagram shows an incomplete symmetric figure. The line AB is a line of symmetry. Shade 2 squares to complete the symmetric figure. Let's follow the instructions. Let's shade 2 squares. So I'm going to orientate this way so you can see it clearly. Where is the symmetry? So this line is a line of symmetry. So whatever appears on the left hand side must appear on the right hand side. Okay, see square here. I'm going to move it down with my ruler so you can see. So there's a square on either side of the line. There's a square here. No square, so I got to shade this part. This is enough for shading. I don't have to make it like super dark or anything. Don't waste time. There's a triangle here, 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 there's a triangle here. No issue. Triangle, triangle, square, empty space, no square. There should be a square here. So that's where the 2 answers are found. Okay, this square and this square. Alright. Next question. Study this line graph below and answer question 37 and 38. The line graph shows the amount of money Rahmat spent from January to April. So when you give you markings like this, right, you need to understand what these numbers represent. These numbers here represent the amount of money spent. And they didn't give you in terms of nice numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They give it to you like 0, 60, 120. So you got to know what is this missing number here. So what's the number exactly between 0 and 60? Well, that is 30. How do I work it out? Well, I see 2 parts, right? 1 part, 2 parts. These 2 parts has a value of 60. So the value of 1 part is 60 divided by 2, that is 30. So every part here is 30, 30, 30. So if you look at this, this is between, so I need to add 30 to 120. This is 150. What is this? 180 plus 30, that's 210. Double check, 210 plus 30, I get 240. Now let's fill in the blanks for all these dots here. Okay, so if this dot here is here, right? So this number would be represented, so this dot is represented by the number 150. Okay. Now in April, Rahmat spent $135 on clothes and the rest on food. How much did he spend on food in April? So in April, he spent $420 altogether, 720, and he spent it on two things, clothes and food. If you spend this much on clothes, how much did you spend on food? Simply use 420 minus away. You see how I cover it, right? When I cover means I minus, I have what's left. So 420 minus 135, I'll have my 285. Okay, let's double check. So borrow 10 minus 5, 5, 1, borrow 11 minus 3, 8, 3 minus 1, 2. Yeah, $285. How much more money did Rahmat spend in February than March? Notice I wrote the numbers down here. This is to remind myself when I check my work. So February I have a number 300. You see I look across here, I have 300. And March, the number here is 180. So I wrote it here. So how much more money? That means that I just need to subtract this. It's $120 more. In the model, it's shown by this. February, 300. March is less, 180. So more money refers to this part. This part that's more than. So how much is this? Subtract these two numbers. Next one. Madam Kathy left her house for the supermarket at 0830 hours. This is actually the 24-hour clock. It actually means 8:30 a.m. in the morning. She took 20 minutes to reach the supermarket. She left the supermarket at 10:05, which is 10:05 a.m. in the morning. How long was she at the supermarket? So we work backwards from this. So 10:05 is here. I like to go back to the 1 hour. That's my preference. So I can just go back by a full hour or 2 hours, and up to you. So go back by 5 minutes here. Okay. So she took 20 minutes, right, to reach the supermarket, and she left it at this time. So when I go back here, what do I have? Now she left at 8:30, sorry, in the morning. She left here. Pardon me, this is time she left, and this is the time she left home. This is the time she left the supermarket. In between here, how long was she at? So 8:30 to 8:50 here, this is 20 minutes. She took 20 minutes to reach the supermarket. So it's from here that we start looking at the time she spent at the supermarket, not this duration. This is the amount of time she spent walking there. So she reached there after 20 minutes, there will be 20 plus 30, 8:50. After 1 hour, 8:50 becomes 9:50. But it's still not at 10:05, right? So 9:50 to 10:05 here is actually 15 minutes. So 1 hour, 15 minutes. We are supposed to express the answer in hours and minutes. So she spent 1 hour and 15 minutes there. You can either see it here is 15 or you break it down further. 9:50 to 10 is 10 minutes. 10 to 10:05 is 5 minutes. So together is 15 minutes. And the answer is here. Miss Koh left Star Shopping Center at 8:10 p.m. She left it. This is the 8:10 p.m. or 2010 hours. After spending how long? 2 hours 35 minutes. I work backwards. After 1 hour before this will be 19, right? 20 minus 1 is 19. 1 hour before that will be 19 minus 1 is 18 minutes here remain. And then it says 35, right? I minus a bit more, minus 10. I have my 1800 hours. 35 minus 10 is 25. So 25 minutes before this will be 17:35. So 7:35 plus 25 minutes will give me this. So what time did she arrive? This is the time she arrived at Star Shopping Centre. Okay, now we go on to section C. You may take a break if you have been working hard doing the corrections. Okay, let's start now. Calvin and Tim have $500 altogether. Tim and James have $745 altogether. Calvin and James have $485 altogether. Sounds very confusing, right? So I will use model to try to understand this question. I will cover the bottom part first. Just do the first part. So look at Calvin and Tim is here, $500. Okay. Tim and James is here. Look at this one. Calvin and James. So Calvin and James is 485. See, Calvin and James. What is a common name that appears between these two comparisons? Yes, that is Calvin. In other words, if I use the top model here, Calvin, Tim, minus the bottom model, Calvin and James, Calvin part will be removed, subtracted away. Then I'm left with just this red color part, which is the difference between Tim and James. And clearly, Tim has more money than James. That's why the question asks, how much more money does Tim have than James? So total is 500, minus total is 485, and I'll have $15. If you don't understand this, I think of it this way. Let's say, I'm going to write it here, okay? Let's say you know that James have $30. This is James. And know that, let's say, Sally has $20. Very simple, right? If I ask you, how much more money does James have than Sally? Just subtract and you get 10, right? So what if I add on another person's name at the back? I say, oh, this person is called Muhammad. And Muhammad has $500. And Muhammad has $500, right? So if I tell you, what's the difference between the top and bottom model? Isn't it still the same? Difference means you subtract. 500 minus 500, you get 0. 30 minus 20, you get 10. So whether you add on any more names behind, doesn't matter so long as it's the same person. So I can tell you, for example, Muhammad plus James have $500. Muhammad plus Sally is actually Muhammad and James is $530. Muhammad and Sally is $520. If I subtract this, Muhammad minus Muhammad is 0. James minus Sally will be the more than part. And that will be 530 minus 520 is 10. In other words, I don't need to know exactly what is these two numbers. If I know the total here is 530, I know the total here is 520, I can still find the difference between these two persons. Next, how much money does James have now? So you see, I look at just this part of the model. So Tim is here, James is here, and this is the $15 that we found just now. You know that Tim and James has $745 altogether. That's the model here. Tim and James all together is 745. If I can subtract away this 15, alright, I have 730. 730 will refer to, see, I cover this part. So that means that just this top and bottom model are exactly the same size. These two will be 730. Then I can easily find what is 1. How? I divide 2. Exactly the same, right? I can divide by 2. I'll have my 300 and, see, I do my long division here, times 3, 6, times 6, 12, times 5, 365. And that's the answer. 365 here, dollar sign. Section C, you must notice that units are not given to you anymore. So you got to write your own units. If you don't write your units, our marks will be deducted from you. You're also reminded above, okay? You must draw the model and label them correctly. Question 42. there were a total of 340 liters of water in 3 tanks. Tank B contains 3 times as much as tank A. Tank C contains twice as much water as tank B. Very similar to the earlier very confusing description. So we just need to draw them out. I compare B and A first. Right? So B and A, this part, 3 times as much, right? So B, 3. A, 1. That's the meaning of 3 times as much. Then look at the other one, C and B. So C contains twice as much water as B. So if B has 3 parts, twice as much will be 3 and 3 will be 6. And you know that altogether is 3, in all 3 tanks is 340, so altogether 340. Now this is a very simple model now. Why? I can see many equal parts here. All the 3 models is made up of many small blocks of this. How many blocks of this do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of those blocks or parts is equal to 340. So what is one of them? Simply 340 divided by 10. You have 34 liters. So how much water there in tank A? Tank A is just 1 block, right? So answer for tank A is this, 34 liters. Let me make sure I put my part A here. Now, how about tank C? How many parts are there in tank C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simply 34 times 6. And you have your 144. Let's double check my mental sum. Oh, I got it wrong, okay? So it's good to do along your working. 4 times 6, 24. Alright, so 3 times 6, 18 plus 2, 20. So it should be 204. Okay, so 204 liter. Now why do I show you this? I have pupils who sometimes they just don't want to do their working like this. They have a lot of confidence and they do their mental sum, and then of course they got it wrong even though their method is correct. So don't be silly, show your working, and so you can check your work at the end as well. 3 more questions and we are done. Rope B is 1/6 meter long. It is shorter than rope A by 1/4 meter. Rope B is 1/6 meter long. It is shorter 1/4 meter shorter than rope A. So if 1/4 is here, then this part is the same. It's still 1/6. So what is the length of rope A? I ignore the second part first. So it's simply 1/6 plus 1/4. I'm doing part A now. Denominator is not the same, I make it the same. Let's change this 6 into a 12. 6 times 2, 12. 1 times 2, 2. Let's change the 4 into a 12. 4 times 3, 12. 1 times 3, 3. I add them together at 5/12 meter. So part A, don't forget your units. 5/12 meter is the length of A. Next, how much longer is rope C than B? Now I have my second model. Right, now I need to find C. They say that C is 1/3 meter longer than A. So I have my A already, right? 1/6 and 1/4. 1/6, 1/4. Rope C is 1/3 meter longer. So how much longer is C compared to B? First, I must find the length of C, which is simply here. This part is 1/6 plus 1/4. We have it here, right? Which is 5/12. So 5/12 plus 1/3. I change my 1/3 here to equivalent fraction to 12. 3 times 4, 1 times 4. So rope C is 9/12 or 1/3 meter in length. This is for rope C. How much longer is C than B? B is 1/6, right? So I use 1/3, which is C's length, minus 1/6, which is B's length. So I need to change the equivalent fraction. 3 times 2, 6. 1 times 2, 2. So it's actually 1/6 meter. So answer is 1/6 meter. C is 1/6 meter longer than B. 2 more questions. A notebook, a stapler, and a pencil case cost this altogether. Notebook, stapler, pencil case cost this altogether. Notebook costs $350 less than the stapler. Notebook costs less than the stapler. So you notice here, I cover this part first. This is the less than part. Next one, pencil case costs $430 more than a stapler. Now I look at stapler and pencil case. Pencil case, right, costs $430 more than the stapler. When I put this in, I can see there's one more part here. 350 is the same, right? So I bring 350 down. Now, do I have all equal parts? Don't have. Unless I subtract away these 3, I have 3 equal parts. Then I can divide by 3. That's the idea. So I need the first step is to minus away these 3. So 250, 2540 minus 350 minus 350 minus 430. Okay, let me do my sums here. This plus is 7. 7 plus 430 is 1130. I always do my rough working at one side. If you want to be super neat, you can just draw a line down. So teacher won't get confused between your rough working and your nicely presented working. Now use my 2540 minus this. So 2540 minus 1130. 4 minus 3, 1 decimal. 5 minus 1, 4. So it's 14.1. Notebook. I need to find out what is one part. So this means that your 3 part, don't have to draw this, okay? Now you have done this. It means this now. This 3 part is this 3 is now 14.1. What is one part? Very simple. 14.1 divided by 3. So 14.1 divided by 3. 3 times 4, 12. Times 7, 21. Okay? So the answer here is 4.7. So the answer here is 4.7. If you write like this, you will lose marks. Why? Because this is in dollar sign. And for dollars, you must have one more zero here to show the cents. So it's $4.70. This is for part A. How much does stapler cost? Very simple. Stapler here, if you found out this part is 470, this part of course is also 470. So the stapler is 470 plus 350. B, show 470 plus 350. You'll get a method mark. So 470 plus 350. 7 plus 5, 12. 8. So $8.20. This is a very expensive stapler. Okay. Final question. Ismail, Lionel, and Matthew have a total mass of 134.2 kilograms. Ismail's weight is twice as much as Lionel's weight. Matthew is 3.8 kilograms heavier than Lionel. See, all these questions ask you to draw model this way. So just figure out how to do it by watching this video. So let's look at the first one. All Ismail, Lionel, Matthew, total is this. This is the first sentence. Next one, Ismail compared to Lionel is twice. Twice means 1, 2. Lionel is 1. Ismail twice Lionel. Next one, Matthew is 3.8 kg heavier. Matthew is heavier than Lionel. So this is the heavier than Lionel part. Again, they are not all equal. How to get all equal? I need to take away the part that sticks out to have 4 equal parts. So 134.2 minus 3.8 is my first step. Rough working at the side. 134.2 minus 3.8. I'll have my borrow. 12 minus 8 is 4 decimal. 3 minus 3 is 0. 13 minus nothing is 13. So I have 130.4. And this is equivalent to how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's find out what is the value of one of these parts here, okay? I divided by 4. Why 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3, 12. Times 2, 8. Times 6, 24. Don't forget my decimal. So it's equals, so I have my 130.4 divided by 4 is equals to 32.6. And that is Lionel's weight, 1 unit. So first answer is found, 32.6. You write this, you will lose marks because there's no units. The mass here is in kilograms, so write kilograms. Next one, what is Matthew's weight? Very simply, Matthew is this plus 3.8. And this we found is 32.6. So for part B, this part A, 32.6 plus 3.8. So 32.6, 3.8, I add them together. 6 plus 8, 14. Carry 1, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. 3 plus nothing is 3. So Matthew is 36.4 kilograms. 36.4. You cannot just write this, you will lose marks. Must remember your units. Okay? Alright, and that's the end of this lesson. All the best to your mathematics revision.